come into this game.
Ah, good to see the heroes back. Feels like I haven't done this in such a long time. At some point in the game, a poll will show up. You only have until the timer runs out to comment your prediction with the hashtag #SmartPowersMPLS11. Get a good look at the ruins of an area of the Land of Dawn, and the heroes posited the possibilities brought up, the potential, a 4 to 5 minute early game ube. Now, the question I'm going to ask here is, does Bren Esports have enough counter punish when they go up against Blacklist and Blacklist brings out the heals?
Yeah, again, that's the main concern, especially when they picked up the Lolita. You want to be able to fight into Blacklist International, but you don't have enough power in terms of stopping them. Because your main worry is that if this Lolita and Fanny combination does not work in the early game, you're still susceptible to being ran over by Blacklist International. That's why the Digi pick sounded much, well, I called Lolita a safer pick now that I think about it. I think Digi was safer because you do get that counter initiation with the Times Journey. You get the shields from it. And you also have the capability of just completely negating the slows coming out from the Barats and the Estes. But with the Lolita, it does give them late game power in terms of initiation if this does go to late game. Because Bren Esports, although you are seeing a Fanny and Brody, it's a much scarier lineup compared to Blacklist late game because the only thing that they need to do is snipe out the Beatrix.
Yeah, that's actually true. And for the side of Blacklist International, knowing that they have the Estes, I believe that having this type of hero on their lineup makes them more aggressive. Knowing that in terms of the late game, yes, there is the roam boots for the Estes, but once it is activated, the level 4, that ultimate, it is a type of Blacklist International that they are just really ready for the team fight. And the thing is, now that we have seen changes in the meta, we can see rotations on the XP lane, so even the initiation on those rotations is going to be crucial for both of our lineups, especially for Bren Esports, because you want to hide that Numinum Blast from owgwen. You need that frontliner for it to be effective.
Yeah, there's a lot of worries for the roam on the side of Bren Esports. It's not an easy Lolita game. Quick side note though, Brody is the tallest hero in MLBB.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, in the drafting, he's huge.
Yeah, he's huge. He even dwarfs Fredrin.
He's taller than Fred. He's Brody.
He's Brody.
Because he's broad.
Yeah.
And he's tall.
I like it.
He's broad and tall.
I like it.
Oh yeah, again, this is going to be a game wherein they're really fighting for the upper bracket seed, or maybe the top seed here in our playoffs, and the leadership for our captains, and at the same time how they will really play against each other.
You hear the fans in the background. Welcome to Friday night fight night here in MPL Philippines. Midnight. What are the conditions early on for both teams?
Well, for Bren Esports, again, they have to make this Lolita work. They have to make Blacklist bleed on the early parts of the game when they are not capable of fighting yet. Come minute 3, minute 4, that's the time where you feel Blacklist's strength. So again, make use of the combination that you have in the middle lane, harass with the with the Eve and the Fanny, and make sure that you get enough resources and get the first objective of the game to limit Blacklist momentum in the mid game.
Yeah, that is indeed true, and we could see a slow start actually for our teams. Even the Visionaries are just positioning themselves on the brushes, and we don't really see this come into week 5. So a more stable game for both our teams.
Yeah, taking things nice and easy, slow and steady.
Flap
there, a little bit of a micro just getting it.
But in the top lane, that is going to be a first blood. For kyletzy of Bren Esports, there's going to be a delay on that Blessing of the Moon Goddess from ohmyv.
Yep. This is the strength of a Fanny, especially with, I mean, against a lineup that has no crowd control. He can just, move around the map.
Yeah, and now, 3 seconds before the turtle spawns there, it's up. We're going to get it. kyletzy going in. Ooh, hero focus.
We see kyletzy, Mitona's welcome from Wise, and it's going to be cancelled here. But we can see right now the players of Bren Esports zoning out the players of Blacklist International. Voice will disengage because he is already low on life, and first turtle most probably will go to Bren Esports as Blacklist International, which just move out. But we will see Edward with the rest of the players, and first turtle will go to Bren Esports.
He cannot contest that.
Yeah, it'll be way too difficult. I mean, I probably would have contested it, but that's why I'm still stuck in Epic.
Well, I do love the the understanding coming out from kyletzy. He knows that he is a Fanny. There's no way in hell even in the land of Dawn, that he can be caught out by the Detona's Welcome. So when he saw Wise there, he was like, okay, I'm going to try and take down this dinosaur. No crowd control, cannot eat me, I can just fly away.
It's a lot easier for kyletzy during that moment, but right now for Bren Esports, they are on the lead in terms of gold, and this is the usual Blacklist play. You know, when we see this Barats and Estes, they're just really waiting for the perfect moment. But again, on the top lane, that is gonna be a kill by Supermarco against Owl.
Such a crucial kill as well, level 5 on the Brody, and it hurts because you know. You have Sustain on the Barats, but Beatrix is solely your damage dealer in mid-game, even though you have a Lapu Lapu, he's going to play backline later on. And this Beatrix is the core element to how Blacklist can be able to play in the mid-game. So that kill suppresses, again, Blacklist's capability for the mid-game spike.
Yeah. Slow and steady are these two teams right now. Very calculated in terms of where they're going to get their pickoffs. kyletzy finding Wise.
Ooh, look at that damage from kyletzy. Again, kyletzy is as if a bird that is just looking for those players from Blacklist International, giving information as well for his teammates. Look at that, almost a K gold lead for a Bren Esports as the turtle will spawn in 15-second time.
Yeah, but if you're a Bren Esports, you're not going to be happy with that, especially kyletzy. He just tried and take down the dinosaur. He didn't have enough damage, and you also have to worry about the SS later on. So I think Bren Esports, they know for a fact that Blacklist spike is going to happen soon. And again, this is going to become a problem. If you cannot take down the Barats, he will just provide massive frontline defense for Blacklist.
Yeah, fighting in the turtle. First build Radiant Armor already up for Wise.
Turtle life is already low, but we will see kyletzy from the back. Oh my goodness, it's a target. But the turtle will go to pheww. Bren Esports will secure that. Look at the sustain for Blacklist International. Oh my goodness, is down. The cables are there. They are everywhere. And another kill for Bren as the goal lead is now 2.5k.
Cables are there everywhere, plus some damage to boot. Bren Esports, that's a big victory. And I think Blacklist International knew what might happen midnight because Owl already went for that bottom lane switch, and Flap still getting that crab coin.
Yeah, again, the plays coming out from flaptzy. He is negating the presence of the heroes on the side of Blacklist International because of the crowd controls that he has, especially with the energy eruption. But again, as you've mentioned, Blacklist, they knew that they cannot compete against Bren Esports at the moment. That's why they place the Beatrix on the bottom lane. This is where they excel at, you know, resource management, resource control, and they know where they are weak, they know where they are strong, and mid game is what they are looking at, and they're trying their best to get to that point, and they know that the Beatrix needs to get to that point. So they put Owl on the bottom lane, sacrifice the turtle, but they try to do it anyway because you have to address this at some point. You know, you have to compete with Bren.
Yeah, and actually for Bren Esports, we could see the shift from being really aggressive to now a team that is waiting for the perfect moment to actually be on that place or that position to go up against Blacklist International in this formation. They're really aware. Look at the respect actually with the formation of Blacklist here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it's like Bren knows where Blacklist want to go.
In an instant, that is the cutthroat for kyletzy. And here comes Bren Esports, but retaliation is there for Blacklist International. Yue with the kill. Owgwen is going to be the target. Flicker out for Owgwen, and the rest of Bren Esports is dealing damage because those stacks from Supermarco. Torn apart memory, not enough damage. Flicker in for flaptzy. And there is going to be the Appraiser's Wrath. Another kill for Bren Esports.
That was super smooth coming out from flaptzy. Flicker in, energy eruption, and then Appraiser's Wrath. ohmyveenus was not willing to commit the heal.
That was genius. The flicker into the taunt. My goodness. We talked about the flap factor that Bren Esports has, and he comes up big. The Blacklist are still contesting.
Kyle.
Again from the back, Owl is going to be the target, while the rest of Bren Esports and Blacklist International is fighting for this turtle objective. Who's going to win this? Here comes the real world manipulation. But it's a new way, but the retribution battle is going to be on the hands of kyletzy. Kill spree for Supermarco.
Oh, the flicker in!
The flicker again. Aggression play for Bren Esports. Another kill. 3 players down from Blacklist International.
This is how you know a team is in the lead. They are calculated with forward flickers midnight.
You know, there's no pressure with Bren Esports. They know for a fact that they need to win. They need to capitalize on the momentum that they have. And again, as you mentioned, those flickers are very, very important because if you manage to shut down the timing of Blacklist International, you have this window wherein you can just continuously play because you out-damage the sustain that Blacklist has. You don't have to worry about the mistakes that you can commit as long as you're choosing the right targets and flaptzy controlling the right heroes. Bren Esports can just continuously man-fight against Blacklist.
Oh, okay. Bren Esports still in the lead, still dominating. And you can clearly see how much homework they did as Edward will be forced back. Bren Esports eyes set. Getting that top turret though. Here comes Wise going forward.
That is a nice set from Wise. It's going to be the better insert from pheww. There is the damage. A player's down for Bren Esports where the rest of the players are trying to fight for their lives.
Oh, it's Kyle.
Easy.
Oh!
Again, the cable man. kyletzy with the damage. 3 players down.
Oh my
Actually 4
God.
from Blacklist.
They did not see that at all. I mean, from the cross map, he came from the middle lane and he was able to catch up towards that fight on the top lane. And sustain, again, is not a problem at the moment because they just have so much damage on the side of Bren Esports, especially with supermarco having the blade of pheww. He is able to output so much physical damage onto the frontline targets. And even if Blacklist tries to run, Funny can just, chase them into their base.
Yes, actually, moments before that kill from kyletzy, he was actually securing his buff. So look at the displacement and mobility of this hero. Now Blacklist International, we're waiting for the mid-game sustain coming from the team. But look at that, Bren Esports will start this Lord objective. And there's going to be no contest from Blacklist. It's going to be critical for them if they have the forces. Take note that they have the minion wave clearing.
None.
Put it down, Nuclear Blast from owgwen. They want to go against Wise, but kyletzy will secure that Lord. We can see again kyletzy to be part of the team fight, dealing damage against the players of Blacklist International.
goodness,
They're forced to back away. Again, a
Flap.
flicker from
Oh!
Blacklist. And a godlike for supermarco. The space,
Oh
the
my
initiation,
goodness.
the implementation, it's just there for Bren Esports.
Dude, the trio of Bren Esports, pheww, owgwen, and flaptzy, they're just shutting Wise completely down. pheww with the Void Crystals, owgwen forcing out the Tonos welcome with the Numenum Blast, and Wise, he had no choice. And flaptzy, he does not care if he dies at all. He just wants to fight. He wants to frontline for Bren Esports because he knows that there's so many follow-ups that will be coming out from both owgwen and pheww, especially with supermarco and kyletzy dealing the damage. So this playstyle from Bren Esports is shutting down the frontline defense of Blacklist.
Oh, it feels like I'm watching M4 all over again and how Echo shut down Wise in the grand finals. Bren Esports, it's like they remembered that series and said, hey, I think we can do that again. Oh, under the tower.
Speaking of doing it again, here comes the Nuclear Blast. Catches not.
Again, flaptzy.
But on the top lane, another secure. Wise is down. Take another player from Blacklist. It's going to be Edward. You can
Oh
see
my
Bren Esports
goodness.
just diving. And kyletzy is still alive as the Lord will march in here at the bottom lane. But look at the discipline of Bren Esports. After that objective, they just go away. They just back away and back to what we're doing.
Yeah, and they needed to be disciplined there. They didn't take down the mid tower just yet. It was a good call. What else did Bren do right there, Midnight?
Well, flaptzy again, not caring about his own life. Like, standing in front of the towers of Blacklist International, just making sure that nobody goes outside. And Blacklist, when they went inside their base, kyletzy went for the chase. He was able to get 1 kill inside the own home of the agents, and this is where you start feeling that there is already no hope because resource management, it's no longer possible for Blacklist International. flaptzy is making sure that nobody leaves the base.
Yeah, actually, even for Blacklist International, again, we've mentioned about crowd control here, and there's no really stopping against kyletzy.
Oh, look at Kyle!
He comes from the back. Look at that. Bren Esports, again, you will use that real-world manipulation as the middle lane is going to be destroyed for Bren Esports. Another turret down, and flaptzy now has the blade armor.
Yeah, very, very critical item because Blacklist International, the only way you shred through the HP of flaptzy is through the damage output coming out from Owl. And he can no longer do that because the damage will also be reflected and he is susceptible to dying against Stefani. And one thing that I want to harp on about the playstyle of Bren Esports, they're overcommitting on the Barats. And this is something that you don't see every day, fully committing on a hero. But guess what? Barats does not have Purify. They don't have any save mechanism aside from the heal. What they can do is use all their resources to control the Barats on the front line so that kyletzy does not have to worry about any form of saves on Owl. So this is just Bren Esports saying to Blacklist, pull everything towards the barracks and leave your backline with no safety precautions. And kyletzy is just abusing that window that he has where he can just shut down anybody on the side of Blacklist.
And look at that, another free lord here for Bren Esports. No major objectives taken yet by Blacklist International. 17-2. The keyword here is commitment. They knew their assignments going into this series. And Bren Esports just committed everything that they studied and executed it to near perfection. Now on the cusp of getting game number 1.
Yeah, indeed. We could see the leader.
Oh, Kyle again!
Again, the damage of kyletzy is against a hero that is supposed to be more on the sustain side, but almost already more than half of the HP. So this is going to be deadly here for Blacklist International. They need those fortress. They need that fortress, rather. They need that sustain as much as possible, and they really have to look forward on the entry of kyletzy.
Yeah.
The Lord is here on the middle lane. This might be it for Bren Esports. We're still waiting for that initiation play. But you see right now, Wise is already low on life. 3-1 manipulation for pheww. And flaptzy again with that aggressive critical play. And owgwen on the backside. Kill spree for flaptzy. Here comes the bait and the tower lock for the side of Bren. 1-0.
Spearheaded by the CEO of TZ Entertainment, the Flap Factor coming in big. It wasn't just Flap, that was the entirety of Bren Esports in near God mode against Blacklist International.
Yeah, for Bren Esports, this is a type of team that doesn't really doubt on using those flickers just to initiate.